What's up, YouTube? Here's your boy back with another one. So we got ourselves another pickup from Goodwill. As you can see here, we got a nice little bundle of games here. So it's a bundle of Xbox 360 games, and this one has the potential to be kind of special. So I want to show you the listing real quick. So this is the listing that I saw on the Goodwill website. It's $20 for a bundle of pretty decent games. But one of the games that stuck out to me the most was a copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition. So that's a very rare version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance that includes all of the DLC characters that were later included in the game online. But because this game was delisted, all those characters essentially lost the time. Like, you can't access them anymore unless you have this copy of the game, which I believe was released a year later, which has all the extra characters printed on disc. It was exclusive to the Xbox 360. This is the only version that had that that gold edition. So there's a high possibility that we might actually have the gold edition of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Now, because that listing never actually shows the disc, there's a possibility that it might not actually be the gold edition. So if it's the gold edition of the game, the actual disc itself should say gold edition on the disc. But that listing on the website only showed the case. So I kind of just jumped at the opportunity because it's a very rare game. If you look this one up on eBay, it generally sells for maybe like a 90 to like $150. Like, I rarely see it. Like, sometimes you'll see it below $100, like in the $70 to $80 range, but most of the times it's 100 or above. So if this is in fact the gold edition of Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, then this is a really nice find. So I'm gonna try and attempt to get this whole thing out of the box. Here we go. Wow, that looks absolutely fantastic. The packing job that Goodwill does, I can't complain. They do a really good job. But so yeah, so I'm gonna attempt to open this up real quick, and then we'll do a quick jump cut and get back to the video. Okay, so we're back, and yeah, so it came packed in this plastic, wrapped in the bubble wrap. Like, Goodwill does a really good job of packing all these games in, which is awesome. So we got ourselves a few copies of games here. Pretty stacked list, I'd say. So the first up is a Kinect game, Disneyland Adventures. Not super excited for that one, so that's not a big one on the list. The second one is Kinect Adventures. I feel like this disc is literally everywhere. If you have been collecting for 360, you'll probably have seen this disc so many times. There's so many different spots that have this, like multiple of these discs. It's probably not worth anything at all. It's kind of like the pack-in Kinect game, and yeah, I already have one of these lying around too, so here's another one to add on the pile. So there's that. Then we have Connectimals. This is pretty much every Kinect game. That's crazy. So we have Connectimals, the other standard Kinect game. Now, normally I kind of go through and look at the disc and everything, but come on, we don't care about these games. Like, these aren't the games we came here for. So we're going to get the Kinect games out of the way. Another Disneyland Adventure. Thank you, but no thanks. And here we are at the game we actually came here for. Yes, that is it. Marvel Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition. So, the moment of truth time is to actually open up the case and see what condition the disc is in, and if it is indeed the Gold Edition disc. So, here we go. Let's see what we got. And holy smokes, it is actually the Gold Edition disc. So that is awesome. Now let's see what condition the disc is in. And you're seeing it the first time, and so was I. And yes, the disc is nearly pristine. Not perfect, but pretty darn close, with not too many defects or problems. That is a beastly find. So $20 is the price that I paid for this entire bundle, which puts this game individually at probably less than $5. But its worth is well over $100, $150. Now, I'm not some type of reseller. I buy these games to play them because I am addicted to gaming. So I just wanted this because I played Ultimate Alliance back in the day. I bought all those DLC characters, but because they're now no longer inaccessible to be downloaded, even if you paid for them, they're no longer inaccessible. They've been completely delisted. If you have a save game from back in the day, which I do, my save game won't load specifically because these characters aren't available for me to. It tells me I need to reinstall the characters, but I can't because they don't exist anymore. So I was devastated. I thought I wouldn't be able to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance anymore. And you can source a regular copy of this game pretty easily, but having the gold edition with the extra characters is like the difficult part. So I am very, very happy to have added this to my collection, and at only $20. Talk about a steal. This was probably the find of the year for me. Like I found some pretty cool rare games. I don't believe I did a video. I may have did a video, but in one of my more recent pickups, I found a copy of 50 Cent Blood to Sand, which is also a pretty rare game. I found that one for about $50, a loose disc, but I was able to source a case. But that one also sells for, regularly like over 80, over 80, $100. So that was also a pretty cool find. But this one is probably the absolute best. Like, a really rare gem of a game, and here it is in my hands. I have it, so that is awesome. This is also another, I would say, precaution to digital only releases. Now, obviously, the game itself isn't a digital only release, but most of the DLC are, and that's the problem when it comes to digital stuff. At some point in time, it's going to be delisted and it won't be available anymore. There's a really cool channel that you guys should probably check out. It's called Gaming Off the Grid. These guys are really awesome. I've been liking their channel a lot, and they're collectors. They collect old school video games, and they kind of go over stuff like this, like games that get delisted, and why buying digital isn't necessarily the best option, because once it's gone, it's gone. You can't access it anymore, and that's why a copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition now sells on the used market for $150, because all those DLC characters are gone, and we can't get them anymore. And it's a shame, because it was really cool additions to the game. Incredible Hulk, Venom, as you can see, like Ben Grimm, the Thing, like, they were really, really cool additions. And for most people, they won't even get to experience that. And that really does suck. It really does. It's really sad to see that. So moving on, we have the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Game of the Year edition. So this is awesome, because this also, I believe, includes all the DLC for like the Knights of the Nine and different things. There were different DLCs for that, so that's interesting. I did play the Elder Scrolls Oblivion back in the day. I had a copy of this. Oh wow, the Shivering Isles. I believe that's also included on this, which is going to be sweet. Because the Shivering Isles, I played the base game, but I never played the expansions. Although I did recently, well, not recently, I would say sometime last year, I purchased the Shivering Isles expansion digitally on the Xbox store. But it's nice to have a physical, yet again, a physical copy of the expansion, I guess, so I can install it to my system whenever I don't have access to that digital copy. Because someday in the future, whenever, at some point, the digital version will be delisted. That's what we always say here. So yeah, and those discs are in fantastic condition. And when it comes to disc versus digital, a lot of people say, well, by the time they delist the digital version, the disc won't even work anymore. And that is not true. Most of these discs, I have discs that are over 30 years old. Like, I have games from the original PlayStation that work perfectly fine. I have games from the Sega Dreamcast. Like, these are some of the oldest disc-based video games. I never owned a Sega Saturn, but I've seen Sega Saturn games that still work perfectly fine. So yes, like, don't believe the hype that somehow your disc-based games will stop working at some point in time. Like, they're going to degrade. Now they will, but by the time they degrade, you'll have degraded. you will have degraded. You won't be here. Maybe you won't be passing them along to your kids or your kids' kids. maybe you will. Who knows? Like, these discs are just gonna fall apart. If you take care of them, then they will last a pretty good long time. So here we have a copy of Rage, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the Anarchy edition. So this whole bundle. Let me just say, this whole bundle was absolutely insane. $20, and so normally the shipping price on Goodwill's kind of high because you have to pay for shipping. They don't normally have free shipping, but I purchased this bundle at the right time because I only paid $1 for shipping. So altogether, it came up to maybe $22 plus tax. So this bundle is absolutely insane. This is probably the absolute best deal I've gotten on Xbox 360 games. And these discs, yet again, are in pristine condition. And that's why I really like shopping at Goodwill. They have, man, their system is just really good. They really do have some really awesome. Wow, this is this like 3 disc. This is a huge. So yeah, this is about 3 disc full. That's crazy. So Rage is another game. I did play this one back in the day, but I played the PS3 version, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the PS3 version had significantly worse performance than the Xbox 360, which, I mean, newsflash, every PS3 game pretty much had significantly worse performance than the 360, so it'll be nice to have a 360 copy to kind of see, like, maybe how the game was supposed to be played. You know, maybe the brand runs a bit better on here. But, yeah, so we also have a copy of Star Wars The Force Unleashed. So I'm happy to have a physical copy of this. I do have a digital copy that's already tied to my account. But having a physical copy is always a bonus. So that's great. I'm glad to be able to add this to my physical collection. So here we are with Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Yet again, another pristine, beautiful looking disc. That is fantastic. Let me not mess it up. Ruin my beautiful disc. So there's that. We have that one. Awesome. Let's see what this one is. This is a copy of Rayman Origins. Well, anyone who knows me knows I'm not a huge fan of Rayman. I've never ever liked the character or any of the games. So I mean, I guess I'll give this a shot though. I've always been kind of unfairly disliking it. So maybe I'll give this a shot. But we shall see what condition the disc is in. And yet again, pristine condition. This is a really awesome model. I am really, really happy about how well this is coming out. So yeah, that's Rayman Origins there. Man, this bundle is just, it's huge too. Like, it's so many games. Here we have a copy of Tomb Raider. So this is the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider. Not my favorite. Tomb Raider is one of my favorite franchises, but I feel like this new reboot, it was okay. Like, gameplay wise, it was fine. Kind of like on rails, Uncharted style gameplay, which is not bad, but I feel like Tomb Raider was more, there was more exploration. It felt more organic, where this feels kind of handholdy. And overall, I didn't like Laura's personality in this. I felt like they changed Laura so much. She used to be this kind of sexy femme fatale, and now she comes off as kind of like this bratty 21-year-old who's just kind of annoying with a British accent. So I do like the game overall, and the trilogy of games they came out with, Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider being the sequels. But this was definitely kind of like my least favorite trilogy within the Tomb Raider timeline. The original PlayStation ones probably still hold up as like my favorites. But yeah, so this is Tomb Raider, and ooh, wow, we got something in here. That's interesting. So let's see, what is this? Looks like it's some kind of Square Enix product code member here. I don't know. It's probably not actionable anymore. Yes, we have another rather pristine disc, so that's awesome. So we have a really nice collection of really good-looking discs here. So I also have some other pickups coming from the Goodwill website that I came across that are really, really cool. They had a copy of Silent Hill 4 for the original Xbox for about $69, which is a pretty good deal. Most of the time that game sells for, I mean, every time I see it, it sells for well over $100, but that's usually the PS2 version. But I played the original Xbox version back in the day. Huge fan of Silent Hill, so I'm happy to have the original Xbox version, and I'm waiting on that. And I also found out of the blue, which was pretty random, I found a 8-bit-do Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch for about $20, which is like, wait a minute, these things usually sell for 50, but they had one for 20. So when those get here, we'll check out the conditions of those and see if it's worth it. But I mean, yeah, the Goodwill website is a just really fantastic site, and I definitely come across some rather incredible pickups. So here we have a copy of BioShock 2. This is interesting. So I never played BioShock 2 back in the day. I played the original BioShock, but I didn't like it very much. I actually got rather bored with it after being super hyped up and, pre-ordering it. And I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me as much as I expected it to. So, yeah, BioShock 2, another pristine looking disc. Yeah, so we've got that. It'll be nice to try out BioShock 2, see what it's like. I heard it's a significant departure from the first game. So, yeah, that's something to check out. And then the last on the list, well, I guess definitely the least, because I don't have any interest in sports games, especially not soccer. And we have FIFA 18. So, yeah, not super excited about FIFA 18. Like, I don't really care about sports games. But this one can definitely go on the pile of games that I would sell. The sellable games, as I like to call them. So, yeah, FIFA 18. Put that on the pile. But let's see what kind of condition it's in. And, wow, pretty good condition. Pretty pristine condition. So, yeah, so that is our bundle of games. All of these and the Connect ones that I don't care about. All of these games and these Connect ones, which I don't care about. All these games bundled together for about $20, a 20 spot. So, yeah. Plus the Marvel Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition, the best game in the bunch. So yeah, that's another Goodwill pickup. Yeah, Goodwill is just a really cool site. It's been a really awesome time, and yeah, catch you in the next one.